Hello, I'm Will. And what I do is I get some suggestions from people that watch or follow us, these videos, and now and again ask me a question, just to, shall we say, talk about. The word I want to talk about at the moment is complacent. Now, if you look at it up like I've done, and I've had a look around and spoken to people, it does come up with different, shall we say, meanings in the context of people being smug, self-secure. There's so many different variations out there. But I understand what my clients and followers were asking. And they were saying, in the sense of personal safety and lone working, do you become complacent? Well, yes, you can, easily. You can get into such a routine that you actually start to not ignore intentionally, but start to miss certain risks, miss certain threats, get used to certain types of people's behaviours, whether it's inappropriate, abusive or threatening. And what I'd like to do is just, shall we say, just explore it for a couple of minutes. The word complacent. And are you? And how I'm going to do it is this. I'm going to ask you 4 simple questions. And then I want you to think about the questions. And then think to yourself, well, am I becoming complacent? So when I have conversations with people about, shall we say, being complacent, or sometimes to the stretch of desensitized, I ask them a series of questions. One, I always ask them questions like this. Have you actually ever been involved in an incident when you're on your own and it was quite serious, but yet you never told anybody? Now, you didn't tell anybody because of many reasons. One of the reasons could be because you might have thought no one would believe you, no one would, shall we say, react the way that you want to react, or possibly, you never know, you might have thought to yourself, well, you said about that before and no one really did anything. They said it was the old line part of the job, so you decided just to continue on and not say anything. And after a while, you, as I said, start to miss it. Another question, have you ever had an incident in the workplace where it was pretty severe and you went home but you didn't tell anybody? And you didn't tell anybody because you thought to yourself, well, I don't want to tell them because I don't want to worry them. Or you might have told them something before and it was not as serious and they got upset, so you thought, well, no, again, I'm not really gonna, you know what I mean, shall I say, tell them again because I don't want to upset them. So again, over time you get to a routine where, you know, you just don't tell them anything about work and they never ask you. Have you ever heard this though? Have you ever spoken to somebody outside the remit of your job role, someone totally different career than your own, possibly even family or friends or anybody, stranger, and they tell you about their bad day at work, and you sit there or stand there and you listen to them and you think, that's not bad, that's a normal day in my workplace. Oh, one of my favourites as well I've used on people, and people laugh at this one. I always say, have you ever had anybody outside your job again and outside your career path and tell you about their job and how stressful it is and how tough it is and all these kind of things, and you think to yourself, wow, I could do your job, but could you do mine? See, what I also get a lot of the staff to do is I also always get them to write down as many things as they can think of that are a risk. Do their job. Well, they're either lone working or they're dealing with people. Write down as much as you can. Do you deal with people that are intoxicated? Do you deal with people on medication and drugs? Do you deal with people that have inappropriate behaviour? Are you on your own? All these things. And I get them to do it and they have a bit of a laugh and they write it all down. And those that are watching this video that have done my training will start laughing about this. And then I get them to write it all down and then they tell me and I put it on my sheet, whether I'm in the studio or I'm with them in person, and we write it all down and then I write on it, you know what I mean? I put the company name or who I'm working for at the time, and then I write down job, advert. And then I say to them, wow, it says if you came across this job and that was the details of the job advert, would you apply? And they all laugh, and they all have a joke about it. But it does have an effect on a couple of them, and they do sit there and go, am I actually becoming complacent? Then I ask them simple questions as well. When was the last time you reported something? Now, it doesn't mean you report all the time. And again, if you look at our videos, you see I talk a bit about reporting and recording. But complacency is you. And the biggest trick of all I always say to people is this. Take 5 minutes every now and again. Just 5 minutes. Sit down and think to yourself, are you missing things? Are you not reporting things? Because when I deal with incidents and I get involved, shall I say, with looking at for what we call causation of an incident, what always interests me is that the build-up, i.e. the build-up to the incident. And when I explain it back to them and say, well, look, don't you think you should have reported this at this point, or this behaviour at that point, and this behaviour at that point? They do look at me and they do say, why, I think I agree with you, Will. We were a bit complacent. So, if you're watching this and you're thinking about your job, nothing to be scared of, why don't you just take them 5 minutes just to sit down and think to yourself, am I becoming complacent? And have a think about them questions I put to you a minute ago. Because the only one that's going to keep you safe is you. And believe it or not, complacency is one of the things I come across quite a lot. Thank you for watching. Stay safe whatever you're doing. I look forward to making more videos, and please keep sending suggestions and subscribe, because more people that subscribe encourages me to make more videos. Stay safe whatever you're doing, and bye for now.